it's Rob Lehmann, founder and executive creative director at Pro Creative. As part of our series, Formulas for Success, we're sitting down with Kevin Gilligan from Structural Graphics to talk direct mail. Kevin, why don't you tell us a little about yourself and Structural Graphics before we get started?
Yeah, absolutely. Great to be here with you. I have over 25 years of experience in direct mail and direct marketing, so I've been doing this for quite some time. Structural Graphics has actually been around for close to 50 years. It was actually founded on the idea that children's pop-up books are the most engaging books that we always had when we were children, and we learned the most from them. And the idea was if we could bring that level of engagement and interaction to direct marketing, that could be a game changer. And here we are 50 years later, still relevant and still doing some amazing work with some of the top brands in insurance, financial services, technology, pharmaceutical. So it's been a great story and a great run for the company.
Excellent. Yeah, I know we've worked with you on several projects as well, just trying to bring some unique formats to life and figure out different ways to engage your customers.
Absolutely.
So in that, I mean, obviously that's quite a bit of experience. How have you seen the market shifting? What are you seeing? What are the trends currently shifting in direct mail?
Yeah, I think over the last few years, certainly data has played a much bigger role in direct mail. So much data available on our target audiences. So we see customers doing a lot more segmentation, a lot more persona building. They can certainly personalize the message to those individuals, and I think that's driving the performance of direct mail. I think the other thing we're starting to see is more customers doing that segmentation and spending more on those real high value customers and prospects that they want to reach. It's worth it to invest more, and we see that shift certainly in customers doing that. And I think the other big change, particularly in the last 2 years, has been that real shift back to direct mail. I think 5 to 6 years ago, that pendulum had swung really heavily towards the digital side of things. I think marketers are starting to see the success when you include direct mail in some of those omni-channel campaigns, the
Oh yeah.
success you can drive because you're including direct mail. So a huge shift back to the popularity of direct mail.
Yeah, we're seeing that as well. I mean, it's interesting because I agree with you. I think direct mail kind of had its moment where everyone had turned its back on it, other than the brands that had really seen its success. But what we're seeing is when you combine that direct and digital, you're getting a 63% in response rates lift. You're getting a lift in clicks, and more importantly, you're seeing a 49% lift in sales, which is fantastic. I think one of the big things spurring that, and I'd love your thoughts on this, is that trust, right? We're so used to now in the digital environment, whenever you get something questioning, is this authentic? Is it true? But if the company's investing in sending you a letter, it's an authentic message from that company.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think a couple of challenges marketers are facing right now. First with email, people aren't going to click on a link unless they trust the brand that's sending it to them. And having something that's tactile that they're holding in their hand really does build that trust. And I think direct mail is great for doing that. The other thing, there's just so much out there in the digital space. So many ads that we're bombarded with every day. And again, breaking through that clutter and finding ways to get attention, get people online for more information, and then retarget them, with your digital ads and digital spend, I think is a tactic a lot of marketers are using.
Agreed. I mean, I'm sure, like me, you've got that spam email account used when you sign up for things. So, there's just that the validity in those email addresses you're getting. Are you actually even reaching a consumer? Because when you hit them at their home address, you're getting them. And to your point, we're not getting as much mail, and it's becoming a lot more exciting when you do. It's funny because we see even Gen Z and millennials are getting really engaged with direct mail. And a lot of that probably stems from the fact that they're just not used to it, right? They never really got that personalized experience that we're able to deliver in the mail. So I got to ask the burning question. Are number 10 still the champion package? That's traditionally been when you're sending out a letter package will outperform or maybe a postcard. But is there a shift in the market now that we're seeing a lot of these younger users getting engaged with direct?
Yeah, a few things. I mean, certainly the number 10s and postcards, those traditional mailers, I still think, play a big role. I think a few things that marketers are starting to do is include some, unique folds, unique treatments on the pieces that are going into the number 10s. I think, the thing about direct mail, it's a great platform to tell a story. And we're seeing that shift where, you don't want to be putting out heavy content, a lot of verbiage. Marketers are using more visuals. And I think some of those unique folds, that reveal information a little bit at a time, can really help improve the effectiveness of a direct mail piece. The other thing
Yeah.
I think we're seeing from marketers is that shift from, cost per unit, how much is each piece in the mail, to the ROI. What is this
Yeah.
delivering for me? And they're willing to invest more if the ROI is there. And we're seeing again that big shift in focus away from just that CPU.
Yeah, and that's great. I mean, as you discussed earlier, segmentation can really open up doors there as well, because you can start to segment out based on those high value customers, sending them a more robust package and testing the waters with some of the lower value with a more traditional package. And it's one of the things we always love about working with you guys is the innovative formats you do have, right? I remember the first time I saw the video mailer you guys do. It's absolutely amazing, right? It's like a little tiny package, but it packs a big wallop. So it's great to see that there are formats that are shaking things up and engaging that younger audience. I mean, we do know, right? Those younger people are more willing to act. And I think getting a more robust package is probably adding to the shelf life. Are you seeing any results that indicate that the shelf life of direct has greater impact on ROI?
It definitely is, and back to the Gen Z. We just had a great case study from a university that sent out a dimensional mailer. It was actually a mailer that mailed flat and popped up into a mascot.
Great.
And they saw a 25% increase in campus tours as a result of this, and a 38% increase in admissions and application.
Wow, that's
And that's
great.
that's the generation that is the digital generation, but they responded so well to direct mail.
Hmm.
We had another great customer that used one of our cube mailers, and this is a piece that mails flat, and when you open it, this dimensional piece pops up.
Oh,
So really engaging
that's
and fun.
fun.
But it sticks around. And this was an insurance customer that typically, when they send a direct mail piece out, they see quotes, for those first few days after it hits mailboxes, and then it drops off quickly. With this piece, because the cube is something that's designed to be kept, and an insurance decision is not an immediate decision. They saw quotes over a 5 and 6 week period.
Wow,
So that shelf life was absolutely there. So
that's
yeah,
great.
our dimensional print definitely has a longer shelf life and gets shown to others. So you're actually
Yeah.
extending, that brand and your message.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. We've found with pieces we do in other marketing groups, when it does have that shareability, when it's got something that sits on your desk that people are going to come by and want to interact with, it can really help drive, like in the B2B market specifically, a lot of interaction. And in the residential market, having that shelf life's great. I mean, it says on average direct mail sits in the house 2 weeks, is engaged with about 5 times each time. That's huge, right? You
It's
don't get
huge.
that from an email. You read the email once. Maybe you keep it
Still
and think
easy.
you'll go back, but you never do, right?
Absolutely. No, I agree
So,
100%.
and I mean, it's interesting, right? Because now everyone's talking about the cookieless world, AI, all of these hot topics, but direct mail still seems to stand the test of time, right? You're building that first party data, which is going to help you get past that cookie issue. And then from an AI perspective, I think there are certainly ways AI is helping us with cleaning lists, scrubbing lists, identifying segmentation. But I mean, I'm curious what your take is. How do you see AI playing a role in direct?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things right now that I think marketers are struggling with is, AI is a powerful tool, but there's a trust issue there.
Yeah,
Computer generated images, you're not quite sure if it's real or not real. When you send somebody a direct mail piece, it is tangible, and they do trust it. And I think that's one of the things why it's being so powerful when included in campaigns that also include email and digital ads, is because there's a trust factor there. And we are seeing more and more customers where they're using direct mail as that door opener, because it can be very targeted. You can use
yeah,
all the data you want to find the exact right audience. and then use your digital tactics, your email, your paid social, some of those other ads that you can do as retargeting. First of all, it's going to lower your overall cost
Yep.
because those retargeting ads are less expensive. And there's going to be a lot more trust on the consumer side because they're holding something tangible.
Yeah, 100%. All right. So what is your current favorite format?
Well, you mentioned video brochures, and that is a fun one, and that's the piece where you open it up and a video plays. Pretty impressive,
Very,
and
yeah.
there's some amazing stats on that. We had a client, Dayton Children's Hospital, that sent out these video brochures to physicians to get them to refer patients to their hospital. Saw an 80% increase in referrals just because of
Wow.
those video brochures. So
Yeah.
that's a hot one. The other one, because it's hard to choose one, is called a carousel mailer, which is a flat
Yep.
mailer that then becomes dimensional. And this particular one actually included augmented reality tags.
Oh, wow.
So
That's great.
you're bringing that AR experience to the print piece where it's telling a story, it sits on your desk, it's staying there longer, and you're engaging them, with those digital tactics like augmented reality. So I'd say those are my two favorite these days.
Those are some solid choices. I know we worked with you guys on one of those carousel mailers for one of our clients, and it's just a beautiful piece. It was a fun way to tell a long story in short, digestible bites. So love
And
that.
that
Love it.
that is the absolute key these days. I mean, the attention span that these audiences have is so short, so you have to find a way to grab their attention, which the type of
Yeah.
work we do absolutely does that. And then the storytelling, it's emotional. The sales and marketing process, you're tapping into emotions, and digital ads are great at that because they're very visual. And when you can get that kind of emotion in a direct mail piece, and then combine it with the power of digital, you've got a real
Yeah.
winning campaign.
Absolutely. All right. Last question for you. What would you say are the three absolute must-haves for a successful direct mail campaign?
The first, it's got to be an integrated campaign. You can't expect to do the one and done and drive the results. You've got to be multiple touches, up to 10 touches, at least, and including direct mail along with your digital as multiple touches, I think is a real key. The other is the storytelling. You've got to
Yeah.
bring that emotion out. So when you're developing your content, don't try to say too much. Make sure that direct mail is great to grab that attention and then get them online to engage more with your digital content where you can continue that story, and including things like near field communication tags where you tap your phone and you're launched to a digital platform. QR codes certainly have been, really important ways to drive,
Yeah.
call to actions. And then I think the final thing is that segmentation and personalization. If you
Yeah.
do those three things, you're going to have a dynamite campaign.
I love it. And of course, you got to partner with the right guys like structural graphics. Get it done.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Kevin. This was a great conversation. I really appreciate it and look forward to continuing to work with you and help serve our clients.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Thank you.